When the person realizes, oh, I can make a better choice, I can set the vector of the flow in a different direction, I can let go, lower my levels of attachment, detach, drop importance, and go into this mode. Hello, Transurfer and Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, and this is TransurfingTV. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I thought was an original idea that I came up with, which was, for those of you that have watched this channel and my videos, that analogy of the river, and there's a character that's clutching onto the rock, not wanting to give in to the alternative's flow, not wanting to let go of what they're holding on to. This signifies obviously having importance about something or excess potential or fear or whatever. And then the character that lets go of the rock, here it's called the fuck yeah character. This is the character that's letting outer intention and the alternative's flow take them in the direction of their goal via the vector of the flow. If you have not yet watched that video, watch it, the vector of the flow. It's going to tie in nicely with this one. So I thought this idea that I had for those past drawings and analogies I did with that depiction was my own. And then I realized, which I'd never read before, I just read it now, Vadim Zeland actually has his own version of exactly that. So this lesson is going to be on Vadim Zeland's version. We're titling it Attachment versus Detachment, and how detachment helps you into this mode and how attachment keeps you in this mode. Before I get started, let me remind you, we have reprogramming stickers. You can get some if you comment, My World is Taking Care of Me, and subscribe and like this video. Reality 2.0 on Teachable down below. Check it out. Join us on Facebook and follow me on Instagram. So I'm going to read. There's 3 little parts in here. I'm going to read one, break it down, read the next, break it down, read the next, break it down. So the first, when you take action using intention with detachment, that's when what you'll always produce, the successful result or the outcome. Okay, I'm sorry, this is worded a little bit weird, but I'll break it down for you guys. That is because the outcome of the universal flow in you will always be the right one. Okay, so one more time. When you take action using intention with detachment, that's when you'll always produce a successful result or outcome. That is because the outcome of the universal flow in you will always be the right one. Okay, so when you are not attached, right? When you are detached, when you are not placing conditions, restrictions, importance, clutching onto something too greatly, a relationship, a profession, the amount of money you have, where you live, the circumstances that make up your life. When you are holding on to things in your world, people, states of being, expectations of self, emotion, material stuff, with an elevated level of attachment, you are essentially stuck in the flow. There's nowhere, these are like chains and you being the anchor in the water, and you're connected to these things, and you cannot obviously float downstream to where other things exist, but you're anchored to these things that you have importance over, which are kind of putting you, I don't want to say in the wrong state of mind, but if you're not experiencing the reality that you want to experience, this is a consequence of you doing this. right? You not having what you want, you not being who you want, you not experiencing the reality that you want. This is a consequence of you doing this. If you want to do this and set the vector of your flow, the vector of the flow, again, watch that video, and move through the alternative space without living this version, you must lessen your attachment to certain attributes of your reality. This releases these chains anchoring you in the water, right? So let me get on to the next part, and then I'm going to ask a couple questions. Awareness is seeing the world as an illusion. Therefore, you are free to engage the drama while being free from all entrapments. Okay, so here, and I've done this myself, and I did this for a lot of years, and everybody does this, right? But here's the thing, all of this stuff that you can and probably do have attachment to is an illusion. It's not real. Your commitments, your connection or attachment to your material stuff, the states of being that you usually exist in, your emotional state, the expectations of yourself or your reality, expectations of others, all of that stuff is a very well-convinced story, an illusion that's in your mind, right? You can let go of it. That's why some people don't have all of these, right? I myself, my house could burn down tomorrow. I would probably be like, oh my God, it's so weird. And for a few days, I'd probably be pretty wrecked. But you know what? It's just stuff. I know another house is waiting downstream, a better one. So I'm actually it wouldn't be devastating, right? It wouldn't be devastating. My emotions, I've learned to really see myself, check that video out, seeing yourself, and really understanding that my emotional state, a lot of it is just kind of automatic human things that happen that are based on, instinctual drives to survive. So I can look at this objectively. I can, even with my expectations of myself or others, know that expectations are really just excess potential. And all I really need to do is accept others for the way that they are, and for me to set the vector of my flow, my goals, and take action, having expectations of myself. So this one's kind of gone too. And people are a hard one. Obviously, people, we don't want to see our loved ones go, but all we really have in the end is ourselves, right? So being overly attached to a person to the point where it would devastate you in your life beyond belief, if something were to happen to that person, it's going to be somewhere in between devastating and you do okay. But I feel if something like this were to happen to me right now, I've already sort of played my negative slide a little in my mind, so I think I would probably deal with it better than most people. But this is me just kind of managing my attachments to the things that people typically become attached to. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't have this stuff in my life. I have emotions, I have material stuff, I have, expectations of self, other people, states of being, people, but I'm not overtly attached. Like he said, awareness is seeing the world as an illusion. Therefore, you are free to engage the drama while being free from all entrapments. Again, I can engage all this stuff, but at the same time, I can use these tools to keep my levels of attachment and importance in check, to where I'm not living these like they're my everything, right? I have it in perspective, and I feel as though if I really, really, really did need to just dip and flow downstream. It could all kind of go, right? If the circumstances were right. Detachment allows you to escape the world of limitation and tap into the universal flow, where the answer to your questions and the action for your success exists. Attachment confines your options, but detachment frees you fully. Okay, so again, he's just reiterating, and it's pretty much what I've said about clutching onto the rock in the river. It's the attachment that really keeps us limited in our ability to access new information, material, evidence, events, people, places, ideas. It's all the unknown and stuff we haven't accessed that's in this place. Now, when you are too attached to the version of reality that you're experiencing, again, it's like chains are on you. You're not going to be able to flow and access that other stuff. You are stuck. So the worst part about this, the absolute worst part about this, is the people that know that there's something better that exists outside. Maybe they doubt it, but maybe they sense it, right? And they are not happy. They're not happy in their lives. They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with others. They're not happy with what they do for money, all that kind of stuff. But they don't let go. They continue, and this is really one of Vadim's most favorite sayings of mine: I want, I fear, I can't let go. You know? So I want, this is wanting to be in the fuck yeah version of you, floating downstream, accessing all that cool stuff in the alternative space. I want, but I fear letting go of this stuff, and I can't do it. I want, I fear, I can't let go. So in lowering your levels of attachment, detaching, playing the negative slide, cleaning up your layer of reality, getting away from elevated importance levels to the extent that they're detrimental for you and your reality. This is a process, and it can be a slow process if you want, but first you must wake up to what it is you're doing, right? Doing this and continuing. And I have a number of people that I talk to regularly that complain about their lives. Oh, I don't like this, and I don't like that, and I don't like this, and I don't like that, and I'm going to complain and complain and complain, and that's what this person is doing. When the person realizes, oh, I can make a better choice, I can set the vector of the flow in a different direction, I can let go, lower my levels of attachment, detach, drop importance, and go into this mode. And this is what I did. And it does absolutely work. It is real. Now, when you do this, it doesn't mean that life is just going to all be roses all the time. You're still going to come up against emotions, and you're still going to build expectations of self. You're still going to become attached to certain things and have problems with people, and maybe your state of being's a little off balance. All this stuff can happen here. But if you're in the active state of remembering what this is and why this isn't good for you, and what this is and why this is good for you, then you at least have a chance to flow more than this version of you that's not flowing at all, right? So I hope you like this video. Let me know your thoughts on it. Comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff to this channel. And thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye.